How's it going, everybody? This is Beat the Bush. Today I'm going to review this MSI 40 amp EV charger. It uses a 15-50 plug, which means the plug itself can go up to 50 amps, but normally they derate it about 20%. So this thing can only go up to 40 amps. Native NACS plug, so it's compatible with a Tesla. If you already have a 15-50 plug installed, installing this thing is almost trivial. You just mount it on the wall, plug it in, and you're ready to go. Most people is not gonna have this, which means you have to call an electrician and get an outlet plug that's compatible with this. Because so many different manufacturers supplies EV chargers these days, it becomes kind of commodified. You want the entire charger to be UL listed because sometimes the cable itself might be UL listed and they might just kind of put it on their specifications and say it is. But what you're looking for is the entire product, which this one is UL listed. And what the UL listing means is that it does a lot of different kind of safety checks to make sure whatever they designed will pass those tests. Sometimes if they're not UL listed, it might not pass. Maybe the connector is not tight enough. Maybe the cable gauge is too thin. But UL does not test anything about how usable it is, such as, how usable the app is. Will it be compatible with the automatic scheduling of my car? Or if, let's say, there's no scheduling on it, you want it to set it in such a way where right when you plug it in, you don't have to tap anything in the app and it'll start charging on its own. So this is more of a usability thing that I'm gonna test here. Let me go back and show you how they packaged this, which is a little bit unique compared to the other ones. Pull these guys out here, and this guy, lift this up, and we can get to the bottom cables. 2 brackets, a cable hanger, some mounting hardware, and the cable itself. Careful when opening this with a knife so you don't score the cable underneath. NACS charge plug, so it'll go into my Tesla. A 15-50 plug, and that's it packaging wise. To install this, you have to remove this panel so you can put 2 screws. So let's remove these. Unfortunately, you do need a Torx 10 screwdriver that's not included in the kit. Foam along the edge here for waterproofing. I'm kind of curious what these numbers are here for. They look almost like amperages. The power that's coming in should go up to 40 amps. The power that's going out should be 40 amps, so maybe it shouldn't say 32, it should say 40 instead, but these numbers might not indicate the amperage of the cables at all. The 2 main conductors on this cable is 8 gauge, there's 1 10 gauge cable here, and 6 additional 22 gauge cables. It's likely not all used because I don't see them all coming out, but it is rated for -50C to 105C. On the other hand though, this label says something different. Right here it says it can operate up to 50C, so the specification is slightly different than what it says on the cable. This tag might actually be for the cable and the connector and everything else. Usually a charger that uses this kind of plug is not going to go all the way up to 50 amps. It will derate it about 20%. That's why it's 40 amps instead. Let me drill some holes, install this to the wall, and see how the app works. It comes with a pack of screws for concrete and brick walls. These anchors require a 10mm hole. So you drill the hole, put this into the brick, you put this screw in, and it expands and holds it in place. I don't have concrete and brick walls, so I'm not going to be using these. Let's flip this over. This is for wood structured walls, and they intend you to put all these holes right inside a stud. It has 4 anchors and 4 screws. When you're putting it into the stud, use the screw only by itself. This is going to hold itself. You don't need these anchors when drilling into the wood. However, you do need these anchors if you're trying to hold it onto some drywall. Drywall is not as strong, so it's not recommended to use these things if you can, because the EV charger is quite heavy and it might rip right off if you put a lot of pressure on it. It comes with 2 RFID charge cards. It's compatible with it, but you don't absolutely have to use it if you're using it inside your garage. Here are the mounting brackets. The top one has a screw hook where it kind of locks in place like this, and the bottom one has threads where you screw into. There are threads here for you to screw into, and there's a hole here for you to mount it. There's actually another set of screw holes here. I assume it's a different way you can mount it, but they don't offer a template for that. So you just put these special screws on the top holes. When these guys are mounted, it locks in place and it's secure as long as you secure the bottom screws. So I just noticed it gives you the brick mounting screws, the wood mounting screws, but if you mount it on the wood, you won't have any screws left over for this cable holder. You need 3 more screws for this. Look at this Swiss cheese wall over here. I've installed 5 or 6 EV chargers in this exact same spot already. So now I'm going to install yet another one with this template. I kind of made sure it would fit in this hole, and generally I like to reuse this single hole over here so I don't have to drill a new one. So I'm going to match that up right there. Make sure this is horizontal. Punch it right there. I only need to drill 3 more holes. Gonna use the smaller anchors, which fits my 5/16" drill bit. Drill the holes. This one actually has a stud in it. We actually need a 5/32 drill bit here. I'm not gonna use those anchors. Put one anchor here, put another anchor here. Screw this plate in with the smaller hole towards the bottom. Line up these screws to these big holes here, and we drop it down. Now remove these 2 T10 Torx screws. Those mounting holes is right here and right here. And these screws actually have like a little rubber grommet around it, see? This gives a little bit of waterproof protection coming from the back. You might need to push the base unit up a little bit, adjust it a little bit until the screws align, and then tighten these screws in place. If you have a 6-50 plug, go ahead and buy a 6-50 EV charger from the beginning. So I'm just gonna plug this in here. Just kind of twist this back, and it actually connects right there. I used to not have another EV charger over here, so I would put the cable hook over there. But if you want things to be a bit more compact, you can actually loop the wire over the charger itself right on top. When you handle these cables, they don't like to be sort of twisted. And roll it back out like this. And then without the cable touching the floor, wrap it on top, do another round, and then a third round can just hang on top like that. But this EV charger has a little plug over here, so you could plug it in on the side right here, and it'll be a bit more secure, keep the cables from falling off if you accidentally bump it or anything. So now let's turn it on. On. The blue light turns on, indicate it's on. Download the app if you have not already. It's called MSI Connect. When I removed this panel, I put this on top and had some trouble connecting to my Wi-Fi. The shielding is probably going to interfere with the Wi-Fi antenna. That's why it couldn't connect before. So now it's doing just fine. Initially, I connected this to offline mode, and it doesn't work too well because every time I come out of the app and go back in, I have to reconnect to the Wi-Fi here. So I changed it to online mode, and it seems to work a lot better. Now I'm going to charge my car at 40 amps to see how hot the cable gets. By the way, the cable is 7.5 meters long, or 24 feet and 7 inches. I have the app started. We're going to go into it. It says 0 volt, so I'm just going to pull this and plug it into my car. Interestingly though, the button is not working. Plug it in. It says it's preparing. So now let's select start charging on it. The charger turns green. Insert the gun. It's inserted already. And now it's going to start charging. It shows that it's 244.7 volts, but it's not starting to charge yet because my car is not set to charge automatically. Now in my car app, I'm going to select start charging. I'm going to bump it all the way up to 40 amps. The charging current should update soon. Oh, right there, it says 16.58 amps, 32, 40 amps right there. So I'm going to come back in 1 hour and check the temperature of everything. Remove the front. It has been charging for about 1 hour and 5 minutes with about 10 kilowatt hours pushed through this charger. Kind of warm in the garage right now, around 83, 86 degrees or so. The front of the charger is a little bit warmer, 95. And you see why you should not use this adapter here. See, it's getting quite warm. 125 degrees here. This might be the limit of this little plug. And the heat of this plug gets transferred onto this adapter. The plug of the EV charger is 104 degrees, so within limits. I'd say anything less than 120, 130 degrees or so, where you can actually touch it and not burn yourself, then it's okay. And I'm gonna follow it along on the floor. Right there, out the garage, 95 degrees. And it's kind of warm outside, so I'm gonna check the car. The floor outside is 99 degrees. The plug is 92. Right at the junction is 96. So all within normal bounds. I'm going to disconnect it right now. See what happens. It goes to 0 amps and it says finishing. Please wait. Now it says available again. If you want the charger to automatically start as soon as you plug it in the app on the upper right, tap those ellipses, select device setting, and at the bottom of the first square, select auto start. And with that, if the device is on and you plug it in, it'll charge right away. Not all EV chargers have this feature, which means after you plug it in, you gotta always go in the app and select start. This one will allow you to start right away. One thing I did notice though, that for my particular unit, The little button over here did not work on my Tesla. Usually if you push this, the little charge door would flip open, right? But it didn't work for me here. And after I find out what's going on, I'll leave all this information in the video description down below. If you guys are interested in getting this MSI EV charger with automatic start, 40 amps with the 15-50 plug, check out my affiliate link down in the video description below. Thanks for watching this video. Until next time.